Hi, this is James Gordon Arturo here with a book review. Today's book I'll be reviewing today, Dragons of Light, edited by Orson Scott Card. It's a really nice cover. This is from Ace, and this was first published in 1980, October of 1980. This was a decent anthology. It had out of the was it 12 or 13 stories in this anthology. There were only 4 that I liked. The rest I didn't like. It was either a lot of offers, like well, not a lot, but some of the offers wrote in like this kind of like old style of writing. They're using modern words, but just the way they wrote the stories, it kind of made it a little difficult to understand what was going on. And the others I really didn't like. And there was only 4 stories I liked. But the one thing I feel this anthology has that kind of saves it a little bit is the some of the illustrations in it. Here's an example of one of the illustrations in it. And personally, my oh, I passed it. No, no, wait. Is this it? No, no. That's not it. Here it is. This is probably my favorite illustration in the anthology. Is this one right here? But yeah, this I like despite the 4 stories that I liked, the rest I didn't like so much. So this was just okay. Maybe someone else will like this more than I did. It was okay, but just it could have been better if you ask me. Like I just I don't know how to describe it. I just made just felt the stories weren't that good as there's only 4 that I liked. There is a sequel to this, Dragons of Darkness, so maybe that might be better. I'll have to find that anthology and pick that up and see what it's like. All right, onto the review. As I'll be talking about just the 4 stories I liked. All right, let's do it. The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. John's youngest daughter and his last child after his wife died during the freezing cold winter, Adara, is a beautiful yet strange girl. Cold to the touch and hardly plays with the other children, she doesn't express any emotion, never smiles or cries even in pain. John is disturbed by her as he doesn't feel no love from her, and no matter what gifts he or anyone else in his family offers Adara, it never pleases her. The only thing that makes Adara happy is when winter comes, as the freezing cold doesn't affect her. Also appearing each winter are creatures made of ice, such as ice lizards. If anyone touches them, they'll melt in their hands, but Adara is able to hold them without them melting. But what always pleases her is when the ice dragon appears. Well, John, the village people, and the king fear it, but Adara is always with it, and whenever it comes, she refuses to leave it. John's brother Hal, a dragon rider, is concerned that this ice dragon is a threat to their kingdom, as the longer it stays, the longer winter lasts, which is causing problems for the village, with people demanding the king to either drive it away or kill it. However, there's a war going on, as the unnamed enemy is traveling fast across the lands, with their black dragons burning everything to ash, as many dragon riders and soldiers are being slaughtered against the enemy, and barely anyone survives these attacks. During the coldest winter to date, the enemy is approaching the kingdom, and Hal goes off to fight while John refuses to leave his land. Hal is killed during the battle, and the enemy soldiers capture John and nail him to his bedroom. Adara rushes into the barn where she's been hiding the ice dragon from the villagers and wants it to take her home. Adara rides the ice dragon, but is chased by the enemy, with black dragons trying to burn her out of the sky. The ice dragon freezes them with its icy breath, causing them to fall out of the sky and shattered into pieces. Adara takes on the whole army of dragon riders, forcing the enemy to retreat, allowing the king to gain the upper hand in battle and saving his kingdom. Adara and the ice dragon are never seen again. The George Business by Roger Zaney. A dragon named Dart is guarding its cave with treasure it has recently stolen while having dreams of a man named George who is plotting to kill him. Dart emerges from his cave to find a man wearing a full suit of armor and is carrying a lance with its tip poisoned. Dart realizes this man is the same person he has been dreaming about and demands to know what he wants. George has an offer for Dart. He wants him to attempt to capture Rosalind, daughter of the Baron Maurice, so he can come in and save her by tricking the king. He has slayed the dragon, which will grant him a chance to marry Rosalind. Dart is unsure to trust a human, but George offers him a lot of money in gold coins. Dart accepts the deal as George pays him half and will pay him the rest after the job is done. Dart captures Rosalind and George comes in to save her while faking he has killed the dragon. Awaiting at his cave for the rest of his reward, George arrives but tells Dart that Rosalind has already married and was given a small reward for his actions. However, Dart wishes to repay George by offering him a deal. Dart wants George to attempt to slay an old female dragon that Dart wishes to earn her love back, as Dart will come in and save George before she can kill him. George accepts Dart's offer but is nearly killed during it. After winning her heart, Dart pays George for the job as the two drink wine together. They both compliment that they are very good actors and believe they can make a name for themselves while doing shows in small towns to earn more money, as George will make a name for himself. Silken Dragon by Steve Edward MacDonald. Solon of Shalyn, daughter of the Devil King Tamian, a warrior woman who fights naked rather than wear any clothes and uses both a long sword and long knife as her choice of blades. She is asking information about the inner chambers of the tomb of Nilker Conway, which is heavily guarded and rumored to have treasure. She is told if anyone dares enter the tomb, they will be cursed by the Silken Dragon. Her master does not want Shalyn to enter, as it's a man's business, not a woman's, but Shalyn refuses to listen. During the night, Shalyn catches a traitor sneaking into her kingdom. The traitor explains he was trying to sneak into the tomb to see if he could steal the gold. Shalyn tells him that if he dared enter, he would be dead. He also warns that Varvray Corvair, a dangerous and skilled thief, is also planning on stealing the treasure. Shalyn lets the traitor go with a warning. When Shalyn reports to her master about Varvray Corvair wanting to enter the tomb, while her master has only heard and seen him from a distance but doesn't believe he'll enter the tomb and advises Shalyn to stay out of this matter. Refusing to let her guard down, Shalyn stays over 3 nights till she spots Vardray slip past the guards and enters the tomb. She follows after him where they discover the Silken Dragon guarding the entrance of the tomb. Shalyn orders Vangray to leave at once but refuses and tries killing her. The two engage in a sword fight with the Silken Dragon watching and getting closer to them. Shalyn takes some damage but is able to wound Vangray and orders him to surrender. He refuses as Shalyn stabs her sword into his throat. Then the Silken Dragon bites him in the back and takes him away. During the following morning, Shalyn is relaxing during a bath as she recovers from her gashes, as her master is pleased with her. The Dragon of Dunloon by Arthur Dilblin. Entering a pub in the Irish town of Dunloon during the pouring rain, the narrator, carrying a tape recorder with him, is on vacation as he wants to capture folk songs from different pubs while having a few drinks himself. While recording a band playing, he overhears one of the locals, Seamus Kilberry, is telling the bartender, Billy Russell, that he saw a sea dragon. The narrator laughs, believing this is just some drunken joke, but notices everyone is silent, the music has stopped, and everyone is listening. Everyone gathers around to hear more about the sea dragon, and the narrator gets closer to Seamus and begins recording his tale of this sea dragon. The narrator visits the pub, recording more accounts of the sea dragon from both Seamus and other residents of Dunloon. The narrator is unsure if this whole thing is some sort of joke or is it real, but decides to continue investigating it since he has always been looking for the real stuff. However, people are concerned that this sea dragon poses a threat to the town as their income is from fishing business and tourism. During the talk with the officer Burke, Billy proposes to form all the townspeople and take this matter into their own hands since the police aren't doing anything. Burke is against this idea and suggests calling the Irish Navy to handle this matter. Billy agrees, and the next day a naval officer shows up at the pub. After explaining about this sea dragon, the naval officer agrees to send out a ship to hunt it down and allows the residents to join in. The narrator takes part in the hunt while recording the whole event on his tape recorder. However, when the men think they spotted the sea dragon, they begin throwing harpoons at it, only to have struck the Irish Navy ship. Believing this whole event was nothing more than a joke, the narrator returns to shore and listens to the last few minutes of his recording, unsure if he wants to erase it or keep it. Suddenly, the sea dragon appears as it approaches him. He quickly flees while grabbing his tape recorder and goes to return to the pub, warning everyone of the sea dragon. Dragons of Light was a decent but not great anthology. While it had very detailed illustrations within the book, however, I felt this anthology was lacking better stories. Some were difficult to understand what was going on, as some authors chose to write them in an old style of writing, while others I didn't like at all. Only 4 stories I liked from this anthology. Maybe the sequel, Dragons of Darkness, might be better. Normally, I would say if I recommend this novel or not, but I'll leave that for you to decide, as maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but I sure like to find a better fantasy anthology than this one. Alright, that's our review today. This one's kind of like a short and simple one. Yeah, out of the 4 stories I read, uh, the only 4 stories I liked in it were The Dragon of Ice, The George Business, The Silkland Dragon, and The Dragon of Dunloon. Those were the only 4 I liked out of these stories. Some of them were just like really goofy, like what was this? Like this one here, From Broch to Bockley. I thought it was just absolutely the most goofiest story of all. You got some guy that's against this grocery store and he's plotting to destroy it, and then you got this other person that's there and he unleashes a dragon against the guy, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then one of the stories I was kind of disappointed was If I Die Before I Wake by Greg Bear, which I was hoping that one would be interesting. It started off like an interesting story where this kid it keeps having this nightmare of this dragon that's trying to kill him, and he believes that this thing is really going to kill him, and he's afraid of going to sleep every night, and no one believes his story. It gets off to a really good start, but then the last part of it just really went weird, and then it revealed that one of the main character's older brother, it turns out to be, he wasn't really there. It was just a figment of his imagination. I thought, wait, if he's not real, then why was everyone acknowledging this other character? I just didn't like that. What else? Then there was a story called Cockfight, which is basically about dragons fighting each other, and it was just really boring. I didn't like that. And then the others, I just really didn't like them. I just really didn't like them. So this was a decent anthology. It was okay. I'm gonna hang on to this because it's really got some really nice illustrations, and it's kind of a hard anthology to find. I don't know if this is if they brought this back in print or not, but I'm gonna hang on to it. Despite the 4 stories I liked out of the other ones. Like Ice Dragon, I really liked that one, but I felt it would have been better if George R. R. Martin kind of like gave a name for the enemy, because who's this like enemy kingdom that's fighting this other one. Like it's that one I felt was lacking names and stuff. And the Silkland Dragon was an interesting one, but again, it was it's written like this old style writing, so some parts I had to kind of like read over again to try to understand the story. And I actually looked up like the stories on Google to see if I can like find like people that review them and kind of explain them better, so that way like I could understand it. Only the George Business was one I found, and that was kind of an interesting concept by Roger Zaggy about the George the Saint being a fraud. I thought that was a really kind of interesting spin on this folktale and stuff. And well, I wasn't, expecting this to have like, elements of horror and stuff. That would have been nice too. But I just felt like creativity was really lacking. And one common theme I noticed throughout this anthology that was mentioned a few times in the stories is that when people were going to try to kill a dragon, they constantly keep saying that their arrows or swords or whatever weapon they're using is the tips are poisoned to kill a dragon. It's like, why? Come on, it seems a little too easy if you ask me. A poison tip sword or arrow is going to take down a dragon? No, it's going to take more than that. And yeah, I just felt this anthology could have been better. So, all right. Now that's done, I'm still reading Temple. So after I'm done reading Temple, I then reveal what book I'm reading next. And depending how things go this month, I'm going to try to get as many stories as I can read through so I can get my Summer Slaughter 2 series wrapped up, so that way it's not like last year where I was behind. It went all the way to September. I don't want that to happen again, so I'm going to try to get the Summer Slaughter 2 series done by this month. And as I said, in September, I'll definitely be doing a Dark Tower series, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Alright, if you like this video, please like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to Octoro Library, the YouTube channel, and the Facebook group of the same name. A place to post share a few fiction. Until then, I'll catch you later.